I thought I'd show off the character creation for We Deal in Lead, my Western fantasy TTRPG inspired by the Dark Tower. So there's a series of random tables to roll on to create your own Gunslinger. Alright, first one we're going to roll on is first name. So that is 18, and that's Bernard. Second is surname, so that is 89, and that is Swable. Next is background, and that is a 1, so Shaman. Now I'm going to pick the pronouns for Bernard, they, them. Okay, now I'm going to roll on the traits tables. So the first one is physique, and that is a 2, and that gives brawny. Next is skin, and that's a 4, so that returns pockmarked. Next is hair, that's another 4, and that's matted. The next table is face, and that's another 4, so that's elongated. Next is eyes, and that's a 1, so piercing. Next is speech, and that's another 1, so that's blunt. The next table is clothing, and that is a 3, so that's extravagant. And next table is virtue, and that is a 2, so Bernard is cautious. And also a vice, which is 8, so Bernard is cautious yet condescending. Next is reputation, and that's a 10, so Bernard is known to be wise. The final table is misfortunes, and that is a 3, so at some point Bernard has been maimed. I'm going to say that they've lost the use of their left arm. Next I'm going to roll on the age table, so roll 4d12 to determine Bernard's age, so the total is 22. Next I roll on the gun table for Bernard, and that is a 4, so Bernard's got a repeater. Next is a series of 3d6 rolls to determine ability. First up is strength, and that's 8 for strength. Next is dex, and that's an 11 for dex. And finally is will, and that's a 12 for will. Next we're going to roll for Bernard's grit score, d6. Grit is the ability to avoid damage in combat, and Bernard has 2 grit. Next we're going to look at equipment, and starting off with armor, so I'm going to roll on the armor table, a 4, so Bernard has padded poncho. Next is secondary weapon, that's another d20, and that is a 12, so Bernard's got a machete. Next, what kind of expeditionary gear does Bernard have? It's another d20, and that's a 4, so Bernard's got a blanket. Next on the tools table, that's a d10, so it's 10 on the tools table, which is a multi-tool, which will come in handy. Next is the trinket table, so that's another d10, and that's a 4, so tobacco. Next is the bonus item, so I'm going to roll on the table first. 11, so that's expeditionary gear, and then I'll roll again on the expeditionary gear table, and that gives Bernard a grappling hook. So we've got Bernard Swable, they, them, a 22-year-old shaman. They've got a brawny physique, pockmarked skin, matted hair, and an elongated face, piercing eyes, and speak in a blunt manner. Their clothing is extravagant, and they're cautious yet condescending, with a reputation of being wise. In their past, Bernard was maimed and lost the use of their left arm. Bernard carries a repeater rifle and a machete, and wears a padded poncho. For gear, they've got a blanket, multi-tool, some tobacco, and a grappling hook.